Hello. Well, let's see what the weather's got in store for us this weekend. And as you might expect, a lot of warm sunshine, but a bit of rain in the forecast too. Not where we really need it, though. In fact, if we have a look at the rainfall accumulation over the next 5 days, most of it will fall across western parts of Scotland, just dribs and drabs in the northwest of England, and no rain at all for many parts of Wales and England further south. And in fact, the longer term outlook indicates that the next 10 days across southern parts of England will probably be dry, possibly the next 2 weeks, which is far from ideal.
Dust Bowl UK is the headline, front page there. The paper reporting that millions face hosepipe bans, with rivers getting critically low, temperatures set to soar again next week. Well, I don't know if you could hear much of that report there. Those conditions in France, even worse, if anything, they are here.
They have, yeah. They've been under high pressure, feels like longer. But I think the biggest problem across parts of France has just been the exceptional heat as well. They've seen record-breaking number of days above 40 degrees and with little rain in the forecast as well. No end to that. But we're looking at it more in the next hour or so. Let's head back to our shores, though, because, of course, some areas here desperately need the rain. And none to come today across much of the UK. For most, another warm and sunny one. Need the rain. It's in Scotland once again. I think a few holidaymakers here could do with a bit of a break from it at the moment.
Because we've been talking obviously about the lack of rain in so many parts of the UK. I know there's some today, but I just don't think it's hitting the right areas, is it, Matt?
It isn't, not at all. It's probably areas where they could probably do with a break from rain at the moment, to be honest. But let's talk about rainfall first of all. Mainly limited to parts of Scotland. I should say good morning, by the way. Across the rest of the country, though, it's going to be another dry, fairly warm and sunny day after a bit of a chilly start. And if I just show you the rainfall forecast for the next 5 days, you notice the darker blues are where the rainfall totals tot up, the Western Highlands and the Northern and Western Isles. Come further south and east, there's no blues on the chart, an indication that there is no rain in the forecast. And it goes beyond that across some southern areas of the UK. We could be dry for not just 10 days, but possibly beyond. So no end in sight.
Yes, I know Matt's been paying close attention to the situation in Europe. It's real problems out there. And when it gets to the point, Matt, which is one of the things that's changed today, there's no drinking water in some of those cities. It really brings it home, doesn't it?
It does indeed. A lot of towns and villages require on wells for their water, and of course the complete lack of rainfall over recent weeks, if not months, is to blame. Air of high pressure has been persistent throughout, and of course it's been coupled with exceptionally high temperatures, and that has had a big impact on parts in the landscape. And I've put together a little sequence of satellite images from the start of summer across France. You can see here we've got much of the country green, but just like we've seen across parts of England and Wales, if I just run the sequence through, you notice how the ground has got browner and browner. Much of the countryside is just parched now, and understandable when you look at the fact they've just had their driest July on record across France, and it was actually the second driest of all months on record in France. And those temperatures that I mentioned, second hottest in terms of max temperatures as well. And it's all combined, just whatever water, whatever moisture is there in the ground to evaporate out. And things are not looking great because we've seen temperatures above 40 degrees again in recent days. Some spots in southern France have seen 4 days this summer above 40 degrees, which is unheard of. So it's a terrible situation there. That, of course, same area of high pressure that's been across France has extended towards our shores, and that's why things are being dry here and continue to be dry here across the southern half of the country. Even today, very little rain in the forecast for most.
And, of course, this is something we're following very, very closely, and Matt's been taking a real look at this. Matt, you know, you can just see from the ground behind you. I know there's rain about today, and it's often in the places that have got plenty, but the other place is just crying out for it, but we're not going to get any for a while.
Exactly. It could be some time indeed. Very good morning too. And of course, it's a difficult balance, isn't it? Because it is summer. Some of you actually wanting a bit of sunshine and warmth on your holidays, but the extent of the dry spell is just going on and on across the south. Far from lush and green landscape out there across many parts of England and Wales, where it will be dry again today. Where to find the rain will be in Scotland once again, north and the west in particular.
In the West Midlands, the sun is shining. It's a good thing, but it's a problematic thing. It's not so much the sun shining, is it, Matt? Morning to you. It's the fact that there's no rain to go with it.
Exactly. It's great news if you're on holiday at the moment. Of course, it's sort of weather you really want. It's just the fact it's been going for so long in some parts. Just take a look at the ground here in Norfolk this morning. The long grass looking like straw at the moment. What some gardeners, growers certainly would like, and some of the water companies as well, is a bit of this, which has been falling across the Highlands so far today. A grey start where we've had quite a bit of rain at times during this past week. Something a little bit drier coming for you in the week ahead. High pressure then builds its way in. We'll see the air coming off the Atlantic, sit in place, dry ground underneath, sunshine overhead. That warms the air temperature up even further. So next week, we could potentially be talking heatwave conditions again. Not like we saw the other week, though, but temperatures more widely high 20s, low 30s. And even further north, far north of England, we'll see temperatures in the mid to high 20s. Scotland, Northern Ireland, certainly feeling warmer and a bit drier than the week just gone. That's how it's looking. Naga, Charlie, back to you both.
Matt, how are you finding it these days? You know, usually people would come up to you, wouldn't they, when they recognise you and just go, oh, when are we going to get a bit of sunshine? Are they all just saying, come on, you've got to tell me when we're going to get a bit of rain?
It's flipped around going, when's the rain coming? When's the rain coming? I got stopped in the newsagent the other day, someone asking exactly that thing.
And the answer is you just don't know anything, nothing for 10 days, we know.
Certainly across southern areas, 10, maybe 14 days before we see any welcome rain, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which is good if you're on holiday. It's
What were you?
one of those things.
What were you getting from the newsagent, Matt?
I was getting a parcel box, Charlie.
What was that for then, Matt? Sounds nice.
Believe it or not, it was to actually send something to Nina.
Oh, there you go.
But I'm not going to tell you what it was.
Oh, okay.
See, we're all a team here. We all help each other out.
It's for the
Matt,
team. It's for the team.
Thanks
Like
very
to know the
much.
details,
Enjoy
that's all.
the rest of your weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
He's so happy the camera's now and not on him anymore.
Very much so.
8:51
Very much.
is the time now.